Hi everyone. So first of all, I just want to hope that everyone is keeping safe and everyone is doing well at home, obviously making sure to wash your hands and all that. So this is going to be the format of your guys' art lessons over the next while we are off from school. I basically thought that there's no point me telling you guys to do tasks unless I can demonstrate them myself, and hopefully you guys find this a little bit more engaging as well. So what this also means is we can kind of treat it just as a weekly show. So I'll be posting one once per week with a new technique. And then if you submit any work on Show My Homework, then I'll try and highlight that the next week as well. One thing I do want to make really clear is I did make this channel for the sole purpose of doing these lessons. What that means is this is a private channel, so comments will be disabled on the video and you cannot contact me in any way through the channel. But if you submit work on Show My Homework, or if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer the questions there. Also, if the audio isn't completely clear, I'm sorry. I'm waiting on a mic, so I'm going to see how this goes with just the phone audio. Hopefully it's not too bad. Now, I do understand, obviously, this is a really tense time in the world, and the last thing a lot of people might be thinking about is doing artwork. But then for me personally, I find this is actually the best time for art because it relaxes me. And when you're bored in the house, it might give you something to direct your energy towards as well. This is actually a kind of makeshift art studio in my own home. So as you can see, me and my flatmate have already been posting loads of work on the walls to kind of keep ourselves occupied. So as well, if there's anyone else in your house who would maybe like to join in or seems a bit bored, then totally open the task up and have more people doing it in the household. I actually find that art is always better when you have someone to do it with as well. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting off really simple and we're going to be creating a pattern using an object around your home. As well, I'm always going to make sure that everyone can do these tasks at home. I understand that not everyone is going to have like a watercolor set or acrylics. So if you have those things, then you can totally use them in these tasks. But I'm going to try and make sure that I keep it to things that are simple like paper, pens, pencils, so everyone can do them. What you're going to need for this task is you need some paper, you need a pencil, you need a pen, and then you need to get an object as well, but we'll talk a little bit more about the exact object. So today we are learning to develop our understanding of pattern. You will be successful if you pick an object that has an interesting silhouette, you then draw around your object to create an outline, you then repeat that drawing to create a pattern, and lastly, use your pen to highlight different areas and as well to create additional pattern on your piece. As an extension, if you do have any coloring pencils, if you have any pens, anything that you can apply color with, you can also apply a color scheme to your pattern. And also, if you have access to PowerPoint, then what you can do is actually create a repeat pattern as well. So pattern is basically the repetition of any other visual element. So that could be line, it could be shape, it could be color. And the reason that these are so appealing is our brain is actually drawn to patterns. So by having visuals repeated, our brain actually finds it easier to analyze the image and digest the information. So you'll see patterns everywhere in the natural world. You'll see them in animals, in plants, in landscapes. And as an artist, you can actually use these patterns to create visually interesting images. Artists use pattern all the time in their work. This artist, Emma Kunz, uses pattern to kind of create mesmerizing pieces that draw your eye into them. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick an object that has an interesting silhouette. Now you're going to have loads of objects around you and you could literally make a pattern out of anything. So the first object I've come to is this stone. Now although visually this is very interesting because it has color and it has reflections, the actual silhouette is pretty basic, so this wouldn't work for what we're going to do. Next, I've come to the controller, which is a little bit more of an interesting outline, but it's a bit too big for my page, so I'd only really be able to fit a couple of these in. So what I've come to lastly is this pair of scissors, which actually is quite interesting in its silhouette because it has an outline that's quite interesting, but it also has the negative space inside the grip. So that creates quite an interesting silhouette. So what's probably the least interesting object actually has the most interesting silhouette and is best for this task. So next I'm going to draw around my object somewhere on the page. And then after that, I want to think about what would create an interesting pattern. So I'm going to make mine symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 3 more on each side. Now we can see the pattern is starting to be made, but it's not incredibly interesting. So using the object, I'm actually going to add additional pieces of pattern around it.
Now, once you have this basic pattern, what you want to do is go in with a black pen and start to outline it. Now, sorry about this, I have a camera in front of me, so I struggled a bit with drawing these in, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier for you. Now, to make some areas stand out from the rest, I also might want to make some areas completely black, or even maybe add in some extra lines and patterns. Now, once that's done, you have your black and white pattern. Now, if you do want to add any color, I would suggest picking two that are either complementary, so that would mean that they're near each other on the color wheel, or contrasting, so they would be opposite to each other on the color wheel. So I'm going to pick purple and yellow for mine. And now that I've applied those, I'm not going to go over all the areas because I still want some bits to be in black and white. Now we have an interesting pattern in color. Now, for submitting these on Show My Homework, please take a photo of it on its own, and then also with your object on it too, so I can see what object you used. Now, if you want to create a repeat pattern, just open up PowerPoint and just drag and repeat your image. And then what you want to do is invert your image so the top matches the bottom of the image above it. And now we have a nice little repeat pattern.
So thanks very much, guys. I am really excited to see what everyone creates. So just remember, submit that on Show My Homework and I'll be able to see it. I'm going to set the deadline as a week from when this goes up. But if you do want a chance for your work to be highlighted on the show, and I'll try to get around as many as I can, then you want to submit it by Thursday because I have to film these and edit these. So for next week, these are some of the things I'm considering. So if any of these seem interesting to you, let me know and Show My Homework. And if you have any other suggestions as well, I'll totally take them on board. So this is my kind of first test at it. I'll see how this goes. We might kind of put some games in here as well at the end, but we'll see how it goes for next time. So I hope you guys have found this engaging and I look forward to seeing everyone's work. As always, I just hope everyone is doing well and keeping safe. So thanks very much. See you guys.